Dear downstairs neighbor, it was awesome to be made aware at 4 a.m. this morning that despite the blisteringly obvious unsaleability of the art resident in your quarters, you have managed to purchase some radically kick-ass bass speaker. As an art historian, I would be interested to know more about this new genre of art that looks like the tattoos people get when they're drunk. That's some next level shit.
Rising above the demon one, evil torture and destruction, terrorizing.
Metal is, from all the style that I have explored, is the one that gave me the strongest call. Also, I found metal more truthful, much more honest. And the most important with the metal is the logo.
He's definitely the greatest heavy metal logo artist of our generation. No one's going to ever be able to come close to the body of work that he's done.
I started seeing more and more logos by bands I thought were great, and then I find out that they were all by him, and you start seeing a recurring pattern of it's all the same guy.
Some people say that I did about 14,000 logos, but that's a bit too much. I would just say about 10,000, which is a rough estimate. I started doing logos for almost 30 years. I was actually in Brussels, sifting through underground vinyl back in '89. And I picked up that flyer from Fanzine Septicor. Me, at the same time, I was collecting demo, and I thought that actually doing a fanzine would be a great way to be acquainted to more bands. I was coming across new contacts and bands, and they were missing logos. And that time, in '89, it was very hard for a band to get a logo, and that is what triggered me to start drawing logos. I successfully did logos for bands like Disgrace from Finland, Morbid Death, and then for Blaspherian. But its Emperor made my name big, and that happened in 1994 with the literally boom of black metal. The tendency has changed from the 80s, where bands were really struggling to get a logo, to the 2010s, where actually a logo artist is struggling to get a piece of the cake because that niche is so populated. Last year in December, I just have 2 customers who commissioned me for logos. I've been doing lots of other art just for my own pleasure. Here it stipulates: the path of righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and tyranny of the evil man. Blessed is he who, in the name of charity and goodwill, shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness. For he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers, and you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee. That quote has been used in Pulp Fiction. I like keeping busy. I find that drawing is very addictive to me. Not drawing actually could get me angry, could make me feel like a drug addict without having his fix. This is something very interesting. This is something I've invented. Old Manish. Finest ale, finest dark ale. What other? IPA? Old Manish. I moved to the UK in 2000, where I could finally find more space. Because before that, between going from one job to another, it was very difficult to find the balance. I need to have to feel secure that I could have a steady income with my work. Moving to the UK, and especially moving to Exeter in 2006, allowed me to start working around my day job and starting to sort of grow. As you probably know, a lot of artists in the history, including Van Gogh, they have died penniless. Even excellent artists whose original work are now probably selling for millions.
Do you think that's just part of being an artist?
I think so. I had received quite a lot of messages over the last 5 years. Christophe, when are you going to exhibit in London? And I've just said I would love to exhibit in London. There have been attempts, but unfortunately the people in gallery before that basically failed to communicate in a proper way and in a timely manner. London is maybe not the most central place in Europe, but it's a very central place in the world. It has a symbolic meaning to be made in London. I feel this is something that I've been waiting for 10 years to come, and it's finally coming, because it's been 10 years I wanted to exhibit my work in London. But this is a bit of a dream coming true because it happens in Camden. It just happened a few blocks behind the Underworld, which is a legendary venue where lots of cult metal bands have performed. I am today, right here, right now, in Camden. No excuse to miss this exhibition. You wanted to see the best, you will see the best.
Most of you will probably know him thanks to his work during the 90s with bands like Emperor. Christophe had a huge impact on the black metal aesthetic, really. I believe to date you don't use computers at all, it's all pen and paper, is that right?
I have tried to work on the computer, but every time the computer got angry on me, and the facial expression of the computer is this. So I just resolved myself to work with my hands. I concentrate on my hands and my pencils. I want to keep this tradition alive. My top favorite out of this is that logo for One Direction. I've decided I'm gonna make a logo which is brutal, slamming, guttural, but I'm gonna do it for One Direction, just the name One Direction. I know everybody, we know exactly who we're talking about. Is this pop band which is completely pathetic. Justin Bieber actually just got some extreme black metal logos for his merchandise. So I just wanted to show that I'm exploring. My last out of the favorites are to be chosen between Cibex, where I've explored Arabic graffiti, Parabola, where I've explored the Japanese kanji, and Leatherco, where I've explored the aesthetics of Kandinsky. So it's a sort of exploration. And not to forget, who lives in London should know Nigella Lawson, the domestic goddess.
You'll have to explain to us how you ended up going from enthroned to Nigella Lawson.
There was a moment in my life where, over the last few years, when I've explored Art Nouveau, Art Deco, I've tried to diversify myself to be not only prolific, but also far-reaching and show to people that I can do something completely different. The next logo I want to do will be Hollyoaks in a black metal version. Yeah. So we also have to touch people who are into soap, not only people who are into black metal, and also the reason why I want to be known not only within that metal milieu, but also into the whole mainstream milieu. This is the very, very first time I'm having a real art show in London. There was an excitement. and I've made it. It's feeling like Neil Armstrong that walked for the first time on the moon. Just an achievement. It's a major achievement to exhibit in London and to exhibit in front of my own audience.